Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Transsexual Sunday. My name is Diana Salami, also known as Tranny Granny. So I need to remind everybody that we're for adults over the age of 18. So if you're not 18, you either need to leave this video or have a parent or a guardian with you, because we're not here to groom anybody. At my age, pushing 70, I'm lucky to groom myself. So y'all, don't be messing with me in here now, because I think at my age, I deserve a little respect. Well, I demand a lot of respect. Who am I kidding? Well, I've been trying to think about what I was going to talk about. Kelly and I are doing a video today that I'll put up next week. We have it scheduled. We're doing it. But I wanted to put something up today. So, some people gave me some ideas of what they would like to hear about. And one girl was saying that there is a narrative that is being pushed in the UK. And I believe I've heard something about that in the United States also. That they're saying that the transsexual is also considered by them as part of the trans ideology. Now, of course, we don't agree with that. The transsexual treatment that we all have either undergone or will undergo is for medical reasons. They have nothing to do with any kind of fetish or any of these things that a lot of these so-called transgender people are doing it for. We're beginning to get a certain amount of respectability is the reason a lot of these laws were passed to protect us. And then all this other stuff started taking over. You know how men do. They like to take over and control things. And the transsexual women, they don't have those male qualities. A lot of us don't even know how to stand up for ourselves. I've learned over time how to stand up for myself, but I'm not going to be in your face. I don't give anybody my pronouns. I feel like a pronoun is for the person that's looking at you. That's on them. Whatever they see is what they should be able to say. Unless you're going to put a tag across you that says, my pronouns are they and them or he or her or whatever, because they change on a daily basis. Now, I'm not going to say that those people have not always existed, but they existed in the shadows. They did not think that they were going to go out and demand anything, because they wouldn't have got it in the past. It was only after the transsexual had worked so hard to get where we were and trying to get respect from the mainstream. And they were starting to respect us. And then all this came out. And now they don't know what's going on. They don't know what they should understand, believe, or respect. They don't know. They're confused. That's the reason I, along with a group of my transsexual friends, have decided to speak up and say, no, we're not a part of that. Whether you think we should be a part of it or not, that's not our concern. what someone says behind my back, it's not my business. It's their business. It's how they're dealing with the world. And if someone says something about you behind your back, that's not your business. Don't worry about it, because you're trying to live your life. And if you're living an honest trans life, then why are you worrying if somebody misgenders you? That should tell you that possibly you're not working it good enough. You're not going out 100% as the gender you think you are, or pretending to think you are. Now, I know there's a lot of trans people out there, legitimate trans people. There's very few transsexuals. That condition is very rare. Doctors will still tell you that. And those treatments and medication was designed for us, not these trans people that were in the old days, cross-dressers and transvestites. They did that either in secret or in their little private parties and stuff. But now they can go out and say, I'm transgender and I can do anything. Well, you're causing trouble too. You're bringing trouble on yourselves. Because even if you are just a cross-dresser and transvestite that's trying to live as a transgender person, have your shit together. Quit making a fool out of yourself and everybody else. Quit trying to cause trouble to where they're going to want to put us in FEMA camps. You can't swell up with your balls and say, I'm demand something. Because when they revoke all the rights that they've given us, the only ones that'll still be okay are the transsexuals. Because before you got all those rights, I had the rights of a female. I had transitioned and had surgery 50 years ago. I never needed any of that. Because I got my respect for being a woman. And I respect people and what they do in this world. And I say you all need to do whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not infringing on someone else. And going into women's restrooms when you look like a spook, and going in dressing rooms and anything that has all females, especially young children and young girls, that shouldn't be allowed. You should be arrested for that. How dare you, like that man there in that spa, it was standing there, short hair like a man, shaving his beard. Why would you do something like that? Shouldn't you have not done that before you came? Unless you're a homeless person. And I don't see why you'd be going into a spa if you don't have enough money to even have a room to put your things and shave your beard. Now, I don't know everything. I don't know all the answers to anything. I don't profess to. I'm Asperger's and I only go so far up. But I'm analytical and I analyze and study everything I see and hear. So when I speak of it, I've already formulated an idea. And I don't care if you TERFs and trolls want to come in here and try to hurt my feelings by calling me a man. That's your own stupidity. Because everybody who knows me or sees me accepts me as a female. Even those that know. So if you don't want to get with the program, that's fine with me. It doesn't matter to me, because I will never have to lay eyes on you. Never. And I have never worried about people that I did not have to deal with. I ran the risk of losing my family and everything when I transitioned in the 70s. It was totally unacceptable. I did it not caring what anybody else thought. And everybody that I knew, my family and friends and everything, they all accepted me because they knew it was right for me. So if you don't agree with it, it doesn't matter. Because the people who were important and still important to me agree with me. So you can bark all you want to. I'll muzzle your ass. Okay, somebody else said they'd like to hear about my marriage. Well, that'll have to be a show on its own because I've been married 3 times. And they're all very interesting. So I will talk about that another time. I don't think I'll talk about that now. And another person asked, how common is infighting in the trans community? What are problems or arguments? Well, it depends on if you consider yourself part of a trans community, which I don't. When I transitioned back in the 70s, we had a little tight group of other transsexual girls. But as soon as we transitioned and had surgeries, we went on about our business. I'm not talking to any of those people. Now, we did try to have little reunions every few years, but then it's been 35 years since I've seen any of those people, because that's not who we are. We transition and have surgery to go into the world and live with you regular people that are scared of us. That's what we did. That's what we want to do. We don't need a transgender community. So whatever they argue about amongst themselves, I have no idea. I know they don't like me because I speak my opinion and I say what it really is. And they don't like that because they're all living in fantasy. 50 years from now, if those people are living, most of them will be detransitioned because it was just something they were playing with. And they may be a very small fraction of those people that will still be living the life and being happy with it. Because those that I know that transitioned earlier, back in my day where there was no internet to find out anything, only those that were truly transsexual did what it took to become women. So I have no idea about what those trans people are arguing about. Well, in the future, I'm going to be having a show about DES intersexed. And I have Hugh Easton, who is a expert on DES intersex. And if you don't know what that is, that's destal, which is a synthetic female hormone that a lot of women will put on to help ward off miscarriages. And it did a lot of things. The genetic women have all kind of cancer risk and things. They've had a bad time with being exposed to DES. And a lot of the males, and not many live now, most of the male fetuses were still aborted. It did not save them. And most of those who did live full term come very feminized, and some, the majority of those, became trans. Now, Hugh is what they call a DES son. He was exposed to destal, but he has not transitioned. He has come to terms with things, and we'll hear all about his story whenever we do that. So that will be later. Okay. Things that transsexuals and myself focus on more than the transgender world, because the only reason we discuss it is complaining about how it's given us a bad name. That's the only reason we're even talking about it. But the most important thing in transsexuals worlds is their work. Whatever they do for a living or a career or their education, that's one of the most important things. Mine is my art, the things that I do, my creative end. Those are things I love. Oh, the upcoming election here in the States. Now, that is a big thing. Now, the trans people are worried about that too, because they're afraid if Trump comes back in, there's going to be trouble. And they very well could for them. But unless they really get crazy, I don't think they'll mess with the transsexuals, the Postup Transsexuals especially, because we've already changed over. Our records are changed over. I'd be surprised if they rounded us up. And I don't think it'll come to that, but I think they can put some laws that'll stop some of the shenanigans, and I hope they do. These people that transition, they should have to go through gatekeeping to make sure before they ever take the first hormone that they are truly transsexual. So it's just the way I feel. Another thing I'm into is ancient history. I love all history, but ancient history is my favorite. I like to study that. Because if you've heard any of my videos, I was planning to be an archaeologist in my youth, and then I got married and fell in love and all up in that. So. But that was what I wanted to do. And I'm really following this controversy with Jada Pickett's Cleopatra on Netflix. That kind of stuff sort of upsets me, the age appropriation of stuff. History should be history. Unless it's fiction or something that's drama, it should be the way history was. Just like the Anne Boleyn and the Queen Charlotte. All speculation. So those kind of things concern me. The Israel and Palestine situation, that concerns me a whole lot. My ex-husband is Palestinian by descent, and he has relatives, people that I know, that still live there, and I worry about them. So yeah, I'm concerned with that conflict and where it could lead. I have opinions on that I will not give here, because I don't like to be political. I will say a few things political, but I don't like to be, because I don't like to argue. I don't like to debate. People want to debate me, and because I'm Asperger's, I just get mad and want to cut you out. Because I think, why are you debating me? I'm just giving my opinion. It's my channel, and I can give my opinion without having to argue with you. If you want to argue, go make a video. Tag me if you want to. That don't mean I'll watch it. But on here, I don't need to have an argument. No, because I think I'm right, and I think you're wrong. Oh, and OJ's death. Oh, it's just bringing all this up about the murders again and the speculation. Yeah, of course I think he did it. But you know, it's only from listening to the evidence, because I was a big O.J. Simpson fan. I thought he was so hot. And when I first heard about it, I thought, bullshit. He didn't do that. Not O.J. Simpson. He did not do something like that. It wasn't until halfway into the evidence that I said, he killed them. I guess that's my opinion. I don't know. He's gone, he's dead, and he never admitted, but he sure did that book about If I Did It. He was so narcissistic, he had to write it and say, well, this is what I'd have done if I'd have done it. He was telling us exactly what he did. Yeah. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I'll follow that. And all of this stuff I follow more than I do transgender stuff because I don't care about them folks. They ain't nothing to me. And Oprah, all this stuff going on with Oprah. She's hurt a lot of people, a lot of black people in Hollywood. She's hurt them. So, I study all that. Aliens. Now, I like to read and watch videos and movies on aliens. Because I think that it's arrogant to think that we could possibly be the only life in the universe. It's still speculation, but I do believe that they exist, and I believe that they're already here, and I believe that our government knows it. That's my opinion. If you attack me, I send a curse your way. I do know voodoo. I do. And the last thing that I like to focus on is my own spiritual path, which is none of your business. I will say that I'm not Christian. I would more or less say omni religion because I like to study all religions. So, there you go. There you have it. Do I have anything else written down? Absolutely not. That's it. So, I hope y'all have a good Sunday. I have talked, 21 minutes? You see, y'all. I'll just gab and gab and gab, and the time will go by, and I'll be said absolutely nothing. That's something to do with my Asperger's. I just kind of get on a roll, and I say whatever I'm thinking, and that's it. So, y'all, like I said before, if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the little notification bell so the next time I put up something, you'll get a little message that the crazy woman's put up something. And I love y'all. Those who you know who you are, the rest of you can bite me. Bye-bye.